In 1876, the sky dropped meat on Kentucky. No storm, no warning, just meat.
The truth is out there, and it begins with you. Welcome to the Cosmic Fold, where we talk high strangeness. Call us at 928-288-2942. That's 928-288-2942. Or join us by video. If you're at a computer, just look for the link in the chat. Buckle up, sit around our virtual campfire, and let's get started.
On March 3, 1876, near Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky, it started raining meat. Mrs. Crouch was outside making soap when the first pieces hit the ground. They didn't drift. They didn't float. They snapped when they landed. 2-inch chunks. 4-inch chunks. Red, fresh. Sticking to fence rails. Staining wood. Being enthusiastically eaten by chickens and hogs who, unlike the scientists, did not request peer review. Naturally, the neighbors gathered. Naturally, affidavits were signed. And, naturally, America's finest scientific minds were summoned to answer the most important question of the 19th century. What in God's name is falling out of the sky? And should we taste it? Note: some people did. At first, experts assured the public this was not meat. It was frog spawn. No. Fish eggs. No. Nostoc, a jelly-like algae that famously looks exactly like lung tissue when examined under a microscope. This theory lasted until microscopes were actually used, at which point scientists discovered muscle, cartilage, connective tissue, which narrowed it down considerably. Then came the lung problem, because some samples appeared to be lung tissue. Horse lung, possibly lamb lung, possibly deer lung, possibly, briefly, human infant lung, which everyone agreed was a direction the conversation did not need to continue. By May, the leading explanation emerged. Not divine intervention, not meteorological mystery, not cosmic meat from an exploding planet. No, the official scientific conclusion was this. A flock of vultures had eaten too much, panicked mid-flight, and collectively vomited over rural Kentucky. A coordinated, aerial, meat disgorgement event. This explanation was accepted because, and this is important, it was the least upsetting option available. The newspapers moved on. The scientists published their papers. And Kentucky, briefly, became the only place in America where you could honestly say, it's not raining cats and dogs. It's raining whatever the cats and dogs didn't finish. But the story didn't end there, because weeks later, maggots fell from the sky. And in July 1876, scientists were still arguing. In 2004, someone found a jar labeled Olympia Springs containing a preserved meat. The sample was too damaged to test. So in 2025, Bath County hosted a festival with a mystery meat chili cook-off. Tonight, as we continue down the Kentucky Paranormal Highway, remember, sometimes the mystery isn't what happened. It's how quickly humanity looked at meat falling from the sky, studied it, argued about it, and then said, well, guess that's settled. Welcome back to the Cosmic Fold. Let's keep driving.
Isn't that insane?
Oh my God! Meat falling from the
That is
sky.
fucked up.
Seriously,
Oh my God, that's just too much, man. That is.
Oh my
And then
god!
they found that jar from 1876, so it's like, well,
yeah.
we might as well have a festival over it.
Hey,
It's
you
Where
know,
do you find this shit?
in newspapers.com, I find all kinds of weird
My
crap.
god!
I think that might have outdone my CIA alien thing. I really do.
And then, and then, so of course, you do some more internet research, and they never mentioned the maggots. It was just this little tiny story, like a couple months later.
Maggots falling from the sky.
Oh my
Yes,
god!
behind vengeance. Oh Lord. Well, happy holidays, Bove. It looks so festive at your house.
Yes, look
Why-
at you, man.
Thank you. Hi, honey.
How y'all doing? Sorry for
I'm
the
all
delay. I lost track of
Oh.
time. I was out on my patio having a smoke. I looked at my clock and it's like 6:59. I'm like, oh crap! I know
That's what we have. That's what we have these little films in the beginning.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
that's
hey
too much.
Keith, happy
Hi, Keith.
holidays.
Keith, what's going on, man? Nice.
So we've got our usual collection of weirdness for tonight. This is
Yes.
part 2
Yes.
of the Kentucky Highway. And so are you all set for the holidays, Al?
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
around
we're going to
family and-
visit the kids and the grandkids on Christmas Eve. They're obviously going to spend Christmas alone because not alone. We're going to spend Christmas just me and Dave, but the kids, I got grandkids. They got their kids doing the Christmas thing and open up presents in the morning and whatnot. So yeah, we're going to see everybody. I am going to be responsible. This may be a good thing or a horrible thing.
Uh-oh.
For cooking this year's turkey.
Oh, wow.
So
What method of preparation have you chosen?
I have chosen it's defrosting in the refrigerator. It's got to defrost for like 3 days. And then I am going to use copious amounts of butter and seasoning. And I got 2 boxes of stovetop stuffing. So yeah, as long as I don't dry it out, it ought to be fine. It ought to be fine, yeah.
I bet you'll do just fine. And if
I
for
hope
some
so.
reason it doesn't work, just get in your truck, go to Kentucky, and see what's on the way.
There's always Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bojangles,
Oh my god.
Popeye.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like here, it's just so weird. It's like, it's supposed to be like in the 70s tomorrow. This is
Oh, yeah.
winter. We're supposed to
Yeah.
have snow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And,
73 on Christmas Eve and 75 on Christmas Day here in Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of times I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to drive down the mountain to Phoenix for the holidays. And this year it's like, it'll be a fun little road trip to go down
Oh
there.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
But-
No problem.
yeah. So anyway, well, here we are for our slideshow today.
Ooh, our journey continues down the Kentucky Paranormal Highway. Cool. All right, roll it on, man. The Mantell UFO crash, January 7th, 1948, Fort Knox, which is in Franklin, Tennessee. On January 7th, 1948, the skies over Kentucky became the setting for one of America's earliest and most dramatic UFO stories. Captain Thomas F. Mantell Jr., a 25-year-old World War II hero flying out of Fort Knox, was ordered to investigate a strange object reported by police and air traffic controllers. Witnesses described it as huge, metallic, and moving fast. Definitely not a normal aircraft. Mantell climbed higher and higher in his P-51 Mustang, ignoring calls to level off until he likely lost consciousness from lack of oxygen. His plane spiraled down and crashed near Franklin, Kentucky, killing him instantly. Newspapers across the country exploded with speculation. Alien spacecraft, Soviet weapons, even rumors of radioactive wreckage. Years later, the investigators with Project Blue Book concluded Mantell had unknowingly chased a top-secret skyhook spy balloon, something no one involved could have identified at the time, whether tragic accident or a symbol of early UFO hysteria. The Mantell incident cemented Kentucky place in the strange, early history of America's flying saucer era, and it all began with one pilot chasing something he was never meant to see.
That one's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa. Greetings.
Happy holidays. So, but that one's pretty famous. That happened in Kentucky, but not a good ending on that one.
Well, not for him anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't work out the way he probably planned it. But there's always the Kelly Hopkinsonville encounter of August 21st, 22nd, 1955 in Kelly, which is in Christian County, Kentucky. A rural family reported repeated encounters with small glowing beings after a bright object landed nearby. And get this, we got a video for this one.
This is a really weird story. A really weird one.
Well, they're all weird stories.
Hopkinsville encounter, Kentucky. Imagine a peaceful night on a quiet Kentucky farm, suddenly interrupted by a terrifying encounter with glowing alien creatures. In 1955, the Sutton family and their friend Billy Ray Taylor claimed that they were besieged by small, humanoid creatures with glowing eyes and long arms at their farmhouse in Kelly, Kentucky. The creatures, which the family described as goblins, appeared at their windows, trying to break into the house. For hours, the family fought off the creatures with firearms, but to their horror, the bullets seemed to have no effect. The creatures kept coming back, seemingly invincible. Terrified, the family fled to the local police station. Investigators found bullet holes and strange glowing patches around the property, but no creatures. Skeptics have suggested that the family may have mistaken owls for aliens, but the Suttons insist that what they encountered that night was out of this world.
So that's that.
Oh my God, owls.
That drawing didn't look like an owl to me.
No.
And then one of the accounts, they saw like this glowing goop around their place. So it's like, I don't know that owls do that.
No, that's not really a thing.
Yeah.
Owl goo. Owl goo. Owl goo. Owl goo.
People down here call me Owl. I got used to answering to that. Is that you, Owl? Yeah, it's me, Owl.
So anyway,
cool.
that one's kind of famous too. Nobody ever explained what this one is. Super famous, very famous.
Abduction, January 6, 1976, Kentucky Route 78, Stanford to Houstonville. And honestly, I really hope y'all guys can understand me. I'm in the middle of getting new teeth. So I'm at the stage now where I have none. But
you sound fine to me.
As soon as I get my new you guys are going to be the first ones to see my fabulous smile.
Woo-hoo.
Anyway, the Stanford abduction.
Keith has a comment about the last thing, LSD.
Yeah, I can understand that. The Stanford abduction, January 6, 1976, Kentucky Route 78, Stanford to Houstonville. In January 1976, 3 Kentucky women driving along Kentucky 78 between Stanford and Houstonville said their car was suddenly taken over by an unseen force. A glowing beam pulled them off the road. Then time vanished. When they came to, nearly 90 minutes, the memory was gone. Hypnosis and lie detector tests followed, and their stories never changed, making it one of America's most enduring and unexplained alien abduction cases. Years later, the story inspired High Strangeness, a Kentucky stage comedy that focused not on aliens, but on what happens after, when ordinary people are thrust into the spotlight. Believed by some, doubted by many, and left to live with an experience nobody can fully explain. Sounds like my first marriage. Story and image source, the Lexington Herald Leader, which is a legit newspaper. And there's a picture of Thomas and Mona Snape, Stanford, and of Liberty. Central figures up here. And the story is the inspiration, as you've said, for the play High Strangeness. Also, the theme of Cosmic Fold.
That's right. I think I've seen some kind of news account, like a video for them, but I couldn't find it in time for tonight.
Yeah.
But they seem totally legitimate, these ladies, whatever happened to them. And just looking at them, I mean, look at those 70s styles
Yes.
with the
Oh,
round
Yes.
glasses. And remember
and the
those
suit.
bows? Those kind of, those bow
They
things.
don't really look like the type of people that you would typically think would be making up some BS story. They look just like, regular people back in the 70s.
Exactly. And for three of them to all experience this at the same time
thing, yeah. That's
was,
amazing.
pretty interesting. So,
Her suit was harvest gold or avocado green.
Right? And this next story, I got to tell you, anything starts with bourbon is good for me. Bourbon County, the thing in the sky photo, January 18, 1949. Paris, Bourbon County, Kentucky in January of 1949. A quiet afternoon over Paris, Kentucky briefly collided with America's growing flying saucer obsession. While driving just outside of town, Paul and Irene Brown spotted something unusual streaking across the sky, and it wasn't a naked person. Irene grabbed her camera and snapped several photos, which showed up wasn't a clear object, but a long, dramatic vapor trail left behind by what Paul described as a small walnut-shaped object emerging from a cloud. 2 days later, the image ran on the front page of the Lexington Herald under the headline, "Thing in Sky Shows Up in Photograph." That's when headlines were headlines.
Yes.
Bourbon County. I know, no clickbait, right?
Exactly.
Dropping Bourbon County into the national UFO conversation. The U.S. military took notice fast. Army and Air Force intelligence launched a formal investigation, interviewed multiple witnesses, checked weather data, reviewed the photographs, and filed more than 24 pages of reports. Some observers thought it was a high-flying jet or an aircraft. Others insisted it didn't sound or move like a plane at all. In the end, the case was officially labeled mundane. Just a vapor trail, possibly from an aircraft, but not without controversy. Notes in the files questioned the witnesses' motives, dismissed the photo as flawed, and quietly moved on. Yet the attention from intelligence agencies, the missing negatives rumor, and the sheer effort poured into explaining a single Kentucky snapshot makes this less a UFO mystery and more a fascinating glimpse into how seriously unexplained skies were taken in the early Cold War era.
And there's a great big huge file on that.
Yeah,
From the government. And I was looking at these pictures like I don't see anything. It looks like what we call chemtrails now.
Chemtrails.
Right.
And what that picture is, they did a negative of it because the other one you couldn't even hardly see anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what did they make it such a big deal over? But
Right?
it was kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So
This one's kind of cool.
I'm still trying to process the meat falling from the sky thing.
I know. It is just stuck in my head. Steak slapping the ground.
Oh, man.
That was insane. It was and there must have been like 40 different newspaper articles just in Kentucky about it because everyone was just like stumped by that.
The hell? Is it ribeye? Is it?
Well, and some
Newport.
people were eating it. I
Hey,
mean, some of them were like, "Hey,
There are
time
people
for
that
a
eat
barbecue."
roadkill. Okay,
Yep.
if it's meat and it's dead and it ain't rotten, just throw it on the grill, man. All right, let's talk about New Fork Historic Kentucky Report from September 1958 out of Ashland, Kentucky. One evening in September 1958, twilight settled over Ashland, Kentucky, and the air itself seemed to misbehave. A sudden, powerful downdraft slammed the treetop straight down, not like a storm rolling in, but like something pressing on the ground from above. Looking up, a child watched a massive, silent circular object glide slowly overhead, low enough to feel close, but too large to see all at once. There was no engine noise, no wind in the face, no smell of fuel, just trees bowing under an invisible force as the object passed north to south. And then, just as suddenly, poof, it was gone. The air went still, no damage, no broken limbs, just the uneasy feeling that something heavy had been there and left. Years later, other family members recalled seeing strange lights over the Ohio River that same night. No one could say what it was, only that it had mass, movement, and presence. In the end, the witness put it best. You can't say what it was only that it was. That's cool.
And then in this New Fork National Reporting Center thing,
Yeah.
When the little boy saw it, his whole family was there, so it was like 5 people saw this
Yeah.
all at the same time, and then they see something over the Ohio River. So there definitely was something going on that night.
Something happened.
So, yeah, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Here's your
look,
site, Al.
my favorite website. Yeah. This is the Enigma app, and this is absolutely. Look, if you're at any stage of being interested in these UFOs or UAPs, this is an app you really got to get, because it's a community. It's a worldwide, actually, but mostly United States sourced conglomeration of witness accounts and videos, and it's really, really fascinating. And what these guys have done is they have included stats and graphs and all kinds of stuff to try to explain some of this. And Enigma users have submitted close to 500 sightings in Kentucky, combined with publicly available sources. We have 3,482 total sightings just in Kentucky alone. Cities with the most sightings in the region within a 5,000 meter radius of the city center are Louisville with 444, Newport 439, Bowling Green 84, Richmond 76, and Owensboro 60. And you can search by city or county or state or however. And this is a really fascinating website. App. So if you are really into this stuff, you really need to do yourself a favor and download this. This is a wealth of information on it.
Well, what's nice about this one too, it's very user-friendly for on your smartphone, and it's also available as a website too for a desktop.
Yeah.
But it's organized very well, and you could just click on these videos and watch it almost like a TikTok for UFOs.
Extremely user-friendly. Absolutely. The videos, it isn't just like, this blurry video of a light somewhere off in the distance. Some of these videos are very, very well not edited. They're recorded with good equipment. Not this fuzzy little, Brownie Fiesta cameras from 1965. These are good quality videos, and this is a good source of information for those of you who are curious about otherworldly.
Yep.
Visit.
And they kind of rate it for authenticity too. So that's kind of nice. Whereas like on TikTok, you're not going to.
And it's a free app too.
Yeah.
And I have, as of yet, have not been given any emails or pop-ups about, premium version or whatever. There's not really much sales involved in this. It's just an information source. And it's very good to have. Very good to have.
So that was our UFO, and now here's some of your cryptids.
Look, I love UFOs, and I love all things UFOs, and, what, is there anybody out there? But these cryptids, I was talking a while back, I don't know, about last week, and we were talking about how a vast majority of our own oceans have not yet been explored. Right. And every time they deep dive somewhere, they find all these new species, and some of them are just unfreaking real. If you ever seen a video of an anglerfish, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there is so much on our own planet that we don't quite yet understand, or we haven't even seen yet.
Exactly.
So we don't even know what's here. So it's great talking about UFOs. It's fantastic. It's fun. It invigorates your sense of wonder. What's going on. But the stuff that we have here on our own planet, that just blows my mind. There's no reason to think that these cryptological beings or animals don't exist.
I was just reading something last week where they were showing, because they still find like dinosaur bones and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And so these scientists, at least this one breed that they found of them, that dinosaurs, if they lost their teeth, they would just have new ones grow back, like constantly. I'm thinking why didn't humans evolve that way? It would have been a lot easier, right?
Yeah, I agree with that, man.
Well, we do. We have such a diverse species that are on this planet, and there are a few people that seem to take care of it.
And
It's like
over 90. I can't remember the exact number. It was in the high 90s of all species that ever existed on this planet have gone extinct.
yeah. Well, we're in the seventh great extinction right now.
Yeah.
That
something like
started in the 70s, and it's
Yeah.
getting not good. A lot of things. So
All right.
this one's got kind of an interesting little story with it.
The 12-year-old in me is going crazy now trying to break out. The Pope Lick Monster, which is a microcosm of the explanation of the entire Catholic Church. The Pope Lick Goatmen out of Louisville, Kentucky. Right? For decades, Louisville has whispered about the Pope, a half-man, half-goat creature said to hump the towering railroad trestle over Pope Lick Creek. Who the hell named? Never mind. The legend claims Goatman waits in the shadows, daring curious teens to run the 100-foot high bridge, then grabbing their legs and holding them down until a train roared through. Some versions say he escaped from a circus train wreck, warped by years of ridicule and fueled by revenge. Again, my first marriage. Whether myth or metaphor, the story has been passed down for generations and still pulls people in. Pun intended. But here's the terrifying truth. The trestle is real. The trains are real. And people have died. Several teens have been killed or badly injured trying to outrun the legend, mistaking bravery for luck. Bravery sometimes is stupidity, actually.
I was just going to say stupidity. Right? Yeah.
Filmmaker Ron Schildknecht.
Pretty
right?
good.
Made a short film about Goatman in the 1980s. This is a real tragedies were unfolding on the tracks. Today, the warning is clear. The monster may be folklore, but the danger isn't. The trestle is active, private, railroad property, and going there isn't daring. It's deadly.
Wow.
I saw something about where somebody was filming. I don't know if it was that filmmaker. Keith says, is that Satan? or he's talking about the church, either way. But
there was a documentary. And I can't remember the name of the band, but it was a band, a Southern rock band, and I think it was like Leonard Skinner or Alabama, one of them things. Were doing a documentary, and they were filming on a trestle somewhere, and a train came by, and there was a mess.
That might be what I am thinking of, because I remember seeing something, and it was like, geez,
Well, if anyone out there is listening, Google it and post it, to text it to us here, because I remember watching the documentary on that. I was like, wow, that's something else, man.
Yeah, and a lot of times you think, oh, those trains aren't coming, but then when they do, man, it's like it comes out of nowhere. And
I can tell you with great certainty, having been on the fire department up in New York State, we had responded to several accidents between trains and vehicles, and one I could remember the most was a cargo van full of college kids that got hit by I think it was a Long Island Railroad train. It could have been a CSX, I don't remember. But we spent the whole night going up and down the tracks trying to pick up body parts.
Oh, geez.
And figure,
that's horrible.
What went to where. The only thing we go, okay, well, this torso was wearing a red plaid shirt, and this arm has a red plaid arm. And trains are very, I don't want to say sneaky, because that's not really what they are, but you can't, just because of the sheer size of them, you can't really tell how fast they're coming.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're barreling down those tracks at 60, 70 miles an hour, and you're a quarter mile down. You got seconds to get out of the way. That's why when I see videos of people skirting around those railroad crossings, like, you're crazy, man. Just have some patience. Wait for the damn train.
Wait, that's traumatic, El, to have to deal with that. That's horrible. That is just awful.
That was not fun at all.
Yeah,
how
do you not?
It was
terrible.
You'd
have PTSD after. Oh, that's just so awful.
Terrible. Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
Well, we'll move to something lighter. Bigfoot.
I love me some Bigfoot. Kentucky Bigfoot reports. Eastern Kentucky. It's known for deer, turkey, and the occasional black bear, but in the late 2000s, Bigfoot suddenly joined the list. Near Cave Run Lake in the Danube National Forest, dozens of curious hunters paid to roam the woods, armed not with rifles, but with infrared cameras and laser pointers. The renewed interest wasn't random. For weeks, a local family camping near the lake had reported strange nighttime activity, rocks thrown into the camp, eerie sounds, and at least one close-range sighting in headlights. When a Bigfoot Field Researchers, that's the BFRO, and the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization investigator arrived to look at it, things escalated quickly. During a nighttime hike along a rocky ridge, the investigator and 2 witnesses were struck by thrown rocks. And then came the moment no one expected. In the glow of a red headlamp, a large upright figure stood just 15 to 20 feet away, silent and motionless, before melting back into the darkness. At the same time, glowing eyes were captured on infrared video in another direction, suggesting more than one presence on the ridge. As the group retreated, footsteps followed them down the hill. Later reviews confirmed the eye shine on camera, but no clear explanation, no definitive proof, just a growing feeling that something massive, intelligent, and unseen was moving through the Kentucky woods. Whether Bigfoot or not, one thing was clear. The eastern Kentucky area had officially entered the Bigfoot conversation. You ought to check out the BFRO. I didn't even know it was a thing until one of our shows, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months ago.
We've got a good comment here. So I looked it up. Have you guys heard of the Giant of Kandahar? By the way, hi, and H. Corn. Have you guys heard of the Giant Kandahar that our special forces encountered in 2002?
No.
So I looked that up.
Look into that. You did? Of course you did.
And it's a widely circulated military urban legend from 2002 claiming U.S. Special Forces encountered and killed a 12 to 15 foot tall, red-haired giant with double rows of teeth and 6-fingered hands near Kandahar, Afghanistan, after it speared a soldier. Good Lord. The story, often featuring themes of secrecy and cover-ups, NDAs, helicopter removal, etc., has no official evidence but persists in online forums and paranormal circles, blending folklore with modern warfare tales. I'm going to have to look that up and see if we can throw that one in on one
Giant
of these.
of Kandahar, yeah, that's intriguing. Thanks for the tip there, Corn.
Yeah, very good one.
We'll definitely check that out. That's very cool. The Giant of Kandahar. Yeah. Cool. Ooh.
So that was Bigfoot, not to be mistaken with the Giant of Kandahar.
No, but look at these little guys. They're so cute. Eastern Kentucky Goblin reports from 2022. That's only 2 years ago. After catastrophic Eastern Kentucky floods in late July 2022, people were already dealing with the unusual apocalyptic checklist. Mud, sewage, washed out roads, missing neighbors, and the kind of exhaustion that makes daylight feel unreal. Farms were drowning, volunteers were running on pizza and panic. It's like my college days. And whole hollers were cut off from clean water. Then, just when the region was trying to get its footing back, the story started spreading. Several drivers swore they'd seen what looked like stranded toddlers on the roadside until they got closer and realized they weren't kids at all. They were small, gray, goblin-like beings, 2 to 3 feet tall, confused, rocking and dressing in odd little scraps of clothing. Suddenly, flood recovery had an unexpected new chapter. Flood goblins.
And, this story is, you could go to the OxfordAmerican.com.
Yeah.
This writer's named Laura Eli Smith. And it's very interesting because she goes into how, tragedy like that with these floods and destruction and really PTSD, how there's almost like mass sightings of different supernatural events that follow these types of things.
And a lot of people don't stick around to check it out.
Yeah. So very well written. It's probably like a 3-page article on that website, but very interesting. I had never heard of this before.
No, I didn't either. Unidentified girl burial June 5th, 1969, Colonial Chapel. This is about Red Dog Road in Harlan County. Red Dog Road doesn't get its reputation From spooky storytelling alone, it earns that the hard way. The legend begins with a coal miner driven mad by jealousy, convinced he knew the man who'd stolen his wife. In a violent fit, he killed him, only to learn later he had the wrong guy. According to local lore, the murdered miner still walks the holler, forever searching for the truth that came too late. At night, people say you can see a single light drifting along the road, and the glow of a miner's carbide lamp, or sometimes a whole cluster of lights climbing the mountain together, following the same route coal cars once rattled up and down the slope. Whether ghostly or not, Red Dog Road is a way of reminding people that this was a place where men lived, worked, and sometimes died, just steps from home. But the creepiest part of Red Dog Road isn't legend, it's history. In 1969, the body of a young woman was found murdered in the mountains of Harlan County. No name, no witnesses, no answers. She was buried nearby under a marker that simply read, unidentified girl. And for nearly 50 years, no one knew who she was. In 2016, DNA finally gave her back her name, Sonia K. Blair Adams, but not her justice. Her killer was never found, and the case remains open. So when people talk about strange lights or uneasy feelings on Red Dog Road, they're not just chasing ghosts. They're walking through decades of unfinished business. And some roads remember everything.
That's pretty sad. Another creepy kind of thing. Yeah. Jeez.
It is.
Can you imagine just kind of driving down the road and seeing that sign, unidentified girl?
Yeah.
I mean, that would disturb me greatly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But some things you wonder about aren't disturbing at all, like how utterly comfortable those chairs look behind you, Bove.
They are.
They are comfortable.
I'm looking at those. I'm like, man, I could fall asleep in them.
Oh, yeah, you could.
A recent odd story. Let's talk about Deborah Newton. In 1983, 3-year-old Michelle Newton vanished from Louisville after her mother, Deborah, told family she was moving for a new job. Then nothing. One last phone call in the mid-1980s, then mother and child disappeared for decades. Deborah was charged with custodial interference, indicted, and even listed among the FBI's most wanted parental kidnapping fugitives. But the case stalled, was dismissed, and eventually, as so many of these stories are, faded from national databases. Michelle grew up under a different name in a different state, completely unaware she had ever been reported missing. And I've been reading about this in the news lately. Everything changed in 2025 with one Crime Stoppers tip. Deputies tracked Deborah, now living under the name of Sharon, to the Villages, a massive retirement community in Central Florida, which, fun fact, has the highest rate of STDs per capita. About an hour northwest.
Wow.
Yes, it does. Well, they're having a lot of fun there in the Villages, man. They are having a lot of fun. Anyway, she was arrested, extradited to Kentucky, where the charge carries no statute of limitations. It was only then that Michelle learned the truth of her past and realized everything she'd missed. 40 years after she vanished, she was reunited with the father and extended family. One phone call solved the mystery that had stolen a childhood and finally given a missing Kentucky girl her name back. Wow. Yeah, I remember reading about this a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's a new story. I mean, can you imagine remembering or even knowing about that when it happened that long ago to even know to report it? It's like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, from flying saucers to haunted highways and goblins with questionable fashion choice, Kentucky proved that the roads don't get you. The skies, the woods, or something watching from the holler just might. Next up, Louisiana. And that's got to be fun because New Orleans has got some shit going on.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know, right?
I can't wait.
Oh, that's going to be great. That's going to be great.
Well, do you want to do that next Saturday? Isn't a holiday, is it? I don't think
Right
so.
after Christmas.
I ain't got no idea.
Christmas is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
Friday,
I don't
Saturday.
care. I'm here. You know. I'm
Okay, we could do it next Saturday if I'm back in town on time. Should be. That would be pretty fun to start tackling Louisiana because they've got a lot of.
Man, yeah, there was.
How many episodes do we have for Louisiana? Just one?
Oh, it'll probably be a few. I don't know. I haven't even started researching yet. So,
Oh, okay.
Well, when we get to New York, we're going to have at least 2. I can guarantee you that, because my racket
Exactly.
jaw is going to be going with stuff that I have done, seen, and experienced in the Big Apple and the great
Yeah.
state of New York. Can be
I
fun.
have found it's easier to split these into at least 2 episodes each
Sure,
state
yeah.
because a lot of them, there's, you hate to just dismiss some of these stories.
I
Like the
know.
meat thing, probably would have gotten dismissed if we just tried to do it in one story.
She said the meat thing.
So, but anyway, that's all I had for tonight, unless you guys have some things you want to add. What'd you think about all this, Bove?
I think the meat thing just blindsided me from
Yeah.
the get-go. From the get-go, there's blobs of meat, 2 inches, 4 inches, slapping the ground.
I'm thinking there's a guy out there with a grill going.
Yeah,
There was. Yep. Yeah, and the thing that it was, and that they found evidence of this, so it wasn't just yellow journalism. Well, thank you, Teresa, for joining us. We
thank you very much
appreciate
for
everyone
joining
who
us.
joins us. So, so unless y'all have anything to add, that's our paranormal highway for this Saturday, and
That
we'll
was great.
jump into Louisiana next week.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that. That is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And so our Wednesday shows, we're not doing the next 2 because it falls on Christmas Eve and then
Right.
on
New Year's
New
Eve.
Year's
Yeah.
Eve. So our Saturday show will carry the fold for the next through the end of the year. Woohoo!
Sounds
Plus, it's just
fantastic.
fun. This one's
Yeah.
always lighter anyway and fun.
Yeah.
So
Lot
I
of fun.
enjoy it.
A lot of fun.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas,
Happy Kwanzaa,
Merry
whatever you
Happy,
celebrate,
whatever
yeah.
you celebrate. Eat, feast, and love grandly.
I will be gumming the turkey to death.
Oh.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this show. And so we will see you next Saturday. And
Yeah, I'll be here.
happy holidays.
here.
All right,
on.
you all.
Mwah.
Good night.
Peace
Thank
out.
you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love hearing your stories, so tell your friends so they can join the party. For show notes and our forum of high strangeness, visit cosmicfold.com. Remember, Cosmic Fold airs live on Wednesday and Saturday nights, so be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to know when we're on air. Thanks again and have a great evening.